Before we dive into today's story, I want to take a moment to ask you, how do you feel about forbidden love? Do you think it's worth fighting for, even if it means going against everything you've ever known? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heart-wrenching tales of love and passion. Now, let's get into this incredible story that will touch your heart about a love so strong, it tore an entire village apart. It's a story of defiance, tradition, and the power of the heart. Welcome to the tale of Unholy Love, how an African village was torn apart by a forbidden romance. Otua thrived in Africa's heart. Otua, timeless village. The air was always thick with the smell of earth and life, where the rhythms of nature intertwined with the daily routines of the villagers. They worked in unison, harvesting crops, tending livestock, and repairing hutsal to the steady beat of the village drum that could be heard across the land every morning and evening. At the center of this village stood Chief Okoro, a man whose authority was both respected and feared by all who lived under his rule. His word was law, his presence commanding, and his family was revered as the backbone of the village. His wife, Muna, was known for her beauty and wisdom, and together they had raised a family that represented the highest ideals of their people. Among their children was Amina, the jewel of the village, the one who was destined to take her place as the next matriarch of Otua. Amina was a vision of grace. With her long braided hair, golden skin, and eyes that sparkled like the river at dawn, she captivated everyone who crossed her path. She was the perfect daughter, the epitome of everything a young woman should be. She helped her mother with the household chores, spent long hours in the fields working alongside the men, and yet she always maintained the kind of serene composure that earned her the admiration of everyone around her. But Amina's heart was different from what her parents expected. While the village adored her, there was a part of her that longed for something more than the life that had been set out for her. From a young age, Amina had been told that her life would follow a specific path: marriage, motherhood, and the continued legacy of Chief Okoro's family. But in the quiet moments when she walked along the river or gazed out at the setting sun, Amina wondered if there was more to life than following the rules of the village. Was there a world beyond Otua that might call to her soul? These were the thoughts that occupied her mind, especially when she found herself gazing at the horizon, wondering what life would be like if she could choose her own path. She was known to be wise, yet she had so many questions about the life she was living. One fateful day, as the sun began its descent, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, the village gathered to celebrate the annual harvest festival. It was a time for rejoicing, for singing and dancing, for paying tribute to the gods who had blessed the land with bountiful crops. The air was thick with the sounds of drums and the laughter of the villagers, who came from every corner of Otua to share in the festivities. Amina was caught up in the joy of the celebration, her feet moving effortlessly with the rhythm of the music. She smiled as she danced with her friends, her body moving fluidly to the beat, her laughter echoing in the air. The festival was a time of unity, a time to honor tradition, but it was also a moment of escape for Amina, a time when she could forget her worries and let the music take her away from the expectations of her life. Yet, as she danced, her eyes wandered, and that was when she saw him. There, standing at the edge of the festival, watching silently, was a man who seemed out of place. He wasn't from the village, and yet, there was something about him that stood apart from the others. His dark skin glistened in the light of the setting sun, his broad shoulders and strong build adding to the aura of mystery that surrounded him. He didn't dance like the other men. Instead, he stood still, observing everything with a quiet intensity that caught Amina's attention. It was as if he was waiting for something or someone. And when their eyes met across the crowd, Amina felt her heart stop for a brief moment. Time seemed to stretch, the music around her fading into the background. The air between them felt thick, charged with an energy she couldn't explain. She had never felt anything like this before. Later that evening, as the fire in the center of the village flickered and the celebrations began to wind down, Amina found herself walking by the river, trying to calm her racing thoughts. The cool breeze swept over her skin, and the soft sound of the water lapping at the shore soothed her. She had been so caught up in the dance and the festivities that she hadn't noticed the man approach her until he was standing just a few feet away. Beautiful night, isn't it? He said, his voice deep and calming. Amina turned in surprise, her heart skipping a beat. It was him. Yes, it is, she stammered, feeling a flutter in her chest. The man smiled, his teeth white against his dark skin. I haven't seen you before. Are you new to the village? Amina shook her head, still caught off guard by his presence. No, I'm not new. I'm Amina, daughter of Chief Okoro. His eyes widened for a moment, clearly recognizing the significance of her name. Ah, the chief's daughter. That explains it. But tell me, Amina, are you happy here? Amina's heart jolted at his question. She wasn't expecting this. No one had ever asked her that before. She hesitated. How could she answer? How could she explain the restlessness in her soul, the longing for something more? But something in his eyes made her feel safe, like she could share her thoughts without fear of judgment. I don't know, she said quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. I've always done what's expected of me, but sometimes I wonder if there's more to life than what we're told. I feel like I'm supposed to follow a certain path, but I don't know if that path is mine. The man studied her for a moment, his gaze thoughtful. I understand, he said, his voice gentle. I've felt that way too. Sometimes the world around us can make us feel trapped in a life we didn't choose, but it's never too late to find what truly makes you happy. Amina felt a flicker of hope spark within her. She had never heard anyone speak like this before. Could it be true? Could she truly choose her own happiness? As the days passed, Amina found herself seeking out Kwame more and more. She didn't know why, she wasn't even sure if it was right. But there was something about him that made her feel alive in a way she had never felt before. His presence was like a breath of fresh air in a life that had felt stifling. They met in secret, away from the eyes of the village. By the river, under the shade of the tall trees, they talked for hours, their conversations flowing as freely as the water beside them. Kwame told her stories of distant lands, of bustling cities filled with people from all walks of life. He spoke of freedom, the freedom to choose, to live as one wished, without the weight of tradition or duty pressing down on every decision. Amina had never been anywhere but Otua. The thought of leaving, of stepping into the unknown, both terrified and thrilled her. She had always been told that her place was in the village, that she was to serve her father and marry someone chosen by him. But in Kwame's eyes, Amina saw something different. She saw a future where she could choose her own path, where love could be a guiding force instead of a burden. But their love was dangerous. Amina's father, Chief Okoro, would never accept a relationship with Kwame. The man's past, his reputation, and the whispers of the villagers all stood as barriers between them. If their love was discovered, it would tear apart everything that Amina had known. Still, Amina couldn't help herself. The more she was with Kwame, the more she realized that she was falling deeply in love with him. There was no going back now. If you're enjoying this tale of forbidden love, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more powerful stories like this. If you're feeling moved by Amina and Kwame's love, let us know in the comments. Do you think they can make it? Or will the weight of tradition tear them apart? We want to hear your thoughts. The days turned into weeks, and their secret meetings continued. The tension in the village grew as rumors began to spread. Amina's behavior was becoming more noticeable. She was often distracted, lost in thought, and her once radiant smile had begun to fade, replaced with a look of longing. The elders began to whisper, and Amina's parents noticed the changes. One evening, her father summoned her. Amina, I've heard disturbing things, he said, his voice stern. I need to know the truth. Are you seeing that man, Kwame? Amina's heart sank. The truth was now out, and there was no hiding. I don't know what you mean, father, she stammered, trying to keep her composure. Don't lie to me, Amina, Chief Okoro said sharply. I've seen the way you look at him. You're risking the reputation of this family. Do you understand what this could mean? Amina's world began to crumble. She knew what she had to deny her love for Kwame, deny everything they had shared. But in her heart, she knew she couldn't. I love him, father, she said quietly, her voice trembling with emotion, and I'm willing to fight for him. Her father's face twisted in anger. You will not disgrace this family. You will marry a man of our people, a man worthy of you. That is your duty, Amina. You will not follow this path. Amina stood there, her heart breaking. The man she loved, Kwame, was the very thing her father could never accept. And yet, in her heart, she knew that she could not deny her love for him. Amina's decision was devastating, but she chose love. She fled the village with Kwame, leaving behind everything she had ever known. Together, they would face the world, whatever it held. Their love was a force that could not be contained by fear, tradition, or the walls of Otua. They walked away from everything, family, honor, and the future they had been promised, because they knew in their hearts that love was worth the sacrifice. What do you think of Amina and Kwame's choice? Was it worth the sacrifice? Let us know how you feel about their story in the comments. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe for more captivating stories like this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with another unforgettable tale.